Something just happened in the Iraqi Dinar space, and if you've been following this for years, you're going to want to pay very close attention because this isn't noise, this isn't speculation, and this isn't another recycled rumor. This is different. Before we get into it, let's acknowledge something real. Uh, a lot of you watching this have been in this space for a long time. You've been holding, waiting, analyzing, and at times questioning everything, and that's completely understandable. Over the past decade, this space has been filled with confusion, conflicting narratives, exaggerated claims, and constant uncertainty. It wears people down. But what changed this week cuts through all of that noise, and it's something serious observers cannot ignore. Now let me be very clear before we go further. This is not about overnight wealth. There are no secret deals, no hidden switches being flipped behind the scenes. That's not how systems like this work. What we are seeing right now is something far more important: structure, planning, and execution finally becoming visible. And once you understand that framework, everything starts to make sense. So here's what happened. Earlier today, a major Middle Eastern television network displayed a rate that immediately caught global attention: $5.67 per Iraqi dinar. Take a second and really process that, because this wasn't a private screenshot, not a rumor from a forum, not a source close to the situation. This was public, broadcast, recorded. For those who have been tracking this for years, this moment feels different for one reason: it moves the conversation from theory to visibility. We've seen hints before: internal banking test rates, temporary placeholders, statements that raised more questions than answers. But seeing a number like that appear publicly, that's when the conversation changes. Now, what does that actually mean? First, this signals intent. Not a small adjustment, not a gradual shift, but a clear message. Iraq is positioning its currency for a different level of valuation, and when you look at the fundamentals, that idea isn't as irrational as many assume. We're talking about a country with massive oil reserves, untapped natural resources, strategic geographic positioning, and growing financial infrastructure. That combination matters. But here's where we need to slow down, because this is where most people misunderstand the process. A number appearing and that number being fully integrated globally are two very different things. This kind of transition doesn't happen instantly. It moves in phases. Systems need to update, banks need to verify, liquidity needs to be managed. Think of it like powering up a massive system. You don't flip one switch and everything stabilizes. You activate it, monitor it, adjust it, and then gradually allow full flow. So if there are pauses, delays, or inconsistencies, that's not failure, that's control. Now let's address the biggest question: how is a number like this even possible? For years, critics argued that a high valuation was mathematically impossible, and on the surface that argument made sense because of one factor: supply, the amount of dinar in circulation. But what many people missed was this: that supply hasn't remained static. There have been currency reductions, structural monetary adjustments, increasing digitization, and tighter control over circulation, which means the effective supply has changed over time. And when supply changes, valuation models change with it. Now zoom out even further, because this isn't just about Iraq. This is happening in a global context. Financial systems worldwide are under pressure: inflation, debt expansion, geopolitical instability. And in times like this, currency systems tend to shift. Major institutions are watching this closely, not reacting publicly, but preparing internally, because any significant movement in one currency can create ripple effects across others, especially in emerging markets. Now let's talk about what this means for you, because this is where emotions can take over, and that's where mistakes happen. Yes, this kind of movement could be significant. Yes, it could be life-changing for some. But this is not the moment to rush. This is the moment to prepare, financially, mentally, strategically, because sudden decisions driven by emotion can undo years of patience. This moment, if it continues to develop, is not just about opportunity, it's about responsibility. Planning, asset protection, tax strategy, long-term allocation, those things matter more than the number itself. From a technical standpoint, Iraq has been building toward this: digital systems, payment infrastructure, banking integrations. These aren't theoretical anymore, they've been tested. And that suggests readiness, not just announcement. So what happens next? If this continues, the process will likely move through stages: internal banking alignment, controlled liquidity introduction, gradual global visibility. There may be volatility, there may be pauses. That's part of stabilization. But the bigger picture is this. This is not just about a rate, it's about positioning. It's about a country stepping into a different role in the global financial system and potentially a broader shift across multiple currencies. So let me leave you with this. What we're seeing right now is not a finished event, it's a developing process. And the people who benefit most from processes like this are not the ones who react emotionally, but the ones who stay informed, grounded, and prepared. Because if this continues to unfold, then this moment won't just be remembered as a headline, it will be remembered as the point where everything started to become real.